Hey everybody, and welcome back to Living Between Paychecks Kitchen. I'm Oz, Jack still like Jackson. I apologize, I look like a character from Moomin Shots, but it's cold, it's soup season, so I'm trying to stay warm while I'm doing this. So, this was going to be another awesome one. I got it from a recipe book and looked into it and stuff, so I don't know if I can call it the official recipe stuff because we've changed a little bit of stuff, but it's going to be awesome. Before we get into it, be sure to like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube-y stuff, ring the little bell, in that corner, more mime stuff, and to get notifications when we do these on Tuesdays and Fridays. You can also look down the doobly-doo. There's a thing. See, this is an apron. It's not attached to this mime shirt. That looks so silly. And we got the aprons and the fake hands and the pots, or not pots, the pot holders, like the grippy things, spoon spatulas, all that kind of stuff. We're a small business. We very much appreciate it. And let's just get into the food before I point out more mime stuff or get stuck in a box or whatever. It's gonna look good in it though. Let's get into it. Alright, there's a bunch of weird stuff, so we're actually going to get into it. You're going to want one decent sized sweet potato. Don't mind if it's got holes or pits in it. We're going to take that and skin that off, okay? Going a little bit of time, don't we all? Just like 2 sprigs, or I'm going to use a couple of different small ones. You want 6 fresh okra, which is really weird, and they go bad fast, so be sure to get them fresh. 1 onion. Now I'm using a red onion, purple onion, whatever the hell it is, just because I like it. It's my favorite. You need 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Now this is a lot more than that, so you'd better have something in your menu lined up down the road. You want 1 cup of peanut butter. Get the creamy peanut butter. If you eat crunchy stuff, you're a savage. That's all I'm saying. Like, you just might as well be part caveman. You're going to need 1 bay leaf. You're going to need 2 tablespoons of ginger, 1/8 of a teaspoon of chili powder. I'm using the chipotle stuff, but you can use cayenne, whatever you want to use. Salt and pepper to taste. This is absolutely up to you and optional. And you're going to want 6 cups of chicken broth. So one of these is usually 4, so get another one from another source. I think I have one that's already open in the fridge. Make sure to check the expiration date on that. But this is all you're going to need in a decent sized pot. So first things first, let's wash our fruit and veg here. You don't have to wash your onion, but you need to skin it and get the stickers and everything off of it. So now we're going to spend some time with one of the tools I hated in my youth, because apparently potato skins were always bad as a child. So I spent many an hour carving these up, and then carved up a lot of the sweet potatoes, because I had 2 pet spider monkeys that loved sweet potatoes, so we always gave it to them. And I found out that they didn't like the skins. They always kind of left the rinds around, so I'd skin them just for my buddies. They had this giant thing. Oh, and if there's these pits or holes, just use the end of the thing. That's what it's designed for, to dig those out. They hold like dirt. It's hard to wash and scrub down in there because of physics. So now you got that done. Now take your skins and compost them or throw them away. It's up to you. Hopefully you got a compost thing. Get your sharp knife. Thanks to Andy. And you can cut these down into rings, but since I'm going to put them down in the soup, I want to cut them down as small as possible. So I'm going to chop them. So I'm going to split the sweet potato. It's usually longer than most things I cut. And then cut them, short ways and then lengthways. I mean, I guess you can do it either way. You can put them whatever size you want. I mean, you can mince them down into nothing. But once you get that done, now you need to cut all the rest of your stuff. Now, okra gets slippery as soon as you get it wet. So cut off the butt end. You don't need that. But then just cut it into rounds. It tries to get away when you grab by the end of it. So it's smarter to grab it by the the stem end and cut the small end first. But I figured that out like 5 of the 6 on the way through. Onion, again, you're going to give this a chop. So cut it in half. Careful of your fingers. Lay them flat. Cut them one way. And then cut them back the other way. Now, generally when I do this, I curve my knife one way or the other, but apparently I'm very tired, so I just cut it straight. So I got all different sizes of onion, and it's going to bother my brain for the rest of the night because I didn't cut them uniform. So get you a decent pot, but don't turn it on yet, okay? Get your 1 cup of peanut butter. I had no other way to figure out exactly what was 1 cup of peanut butter. So it got everywhere, man. It was still in the 1 cup thing. It was on my little rubber spatula. It was the skillet or the pot. It's just everywhere. It's a pain in the tuchus. The only thing worse than that, because it gets everywhere, is tomato paste. So you need 2 tablespoons of this, and man, this stuff sticks worse than peanut butter. But I guess it's easier to use peanut butter when you're trying to make Mr. Ed or Lassie talk or something. But just 2 tablespoons. Try to get as much of it off as you can. This turned into a running gag with me. Like, I was like, I'll use this, and it just got peanut butter and tomato paste all over both of them, which is it's everywhere. I'll leave it and kind of clean it with chicken broth. Go ahead and add your chicken broth. Now, I started doing it slow. I did about half of it. Then I'm going to try to use a whisk. Again, there's a non-stick coating on your pot and pan, so be careful dragging that metal around on it. And you're going to start whisking this in slow. Come to find out, one of the best things to use to get that off is the whisk, because it's got a non-stick coating on it. Just add about 2 cups of your broth and start stirring this in. Now, as soon as I find my whisk, I'll show you. Like, I try to break it down, realize that this works so much better. Look at that. That's genius. Now you guys know, so when you're cooking it, you just go straight to the whisk, whatever. So you're going to start beating this up. Now, it looks horrific. It's one of those foods that you're just like, I can't believe we're going to eat this later. But the more you whisk, I took a seat, man. The more you whisk, the more it starts getting uniform, starts getting in there. Be sure to get that tomato paste that's stuck in those little teaspoon-shaped globs. So just beat it up. It's going to take a little bit. You start getting this uniform stuff where it kind of breaks down in here. This is without heat, remember? So just keep adding your broth in there, keep stirring it. Now, later, I started with my whisk just because it was dirty and close at hand. I didn't want to open another one. And if your broth isn't coming out fast enough, stab the box. It'll pour out faster. But only do that if you're using the entire box or the last of it, because it's hard to store with a hole in the side of it. So then I did the whole 4 of that one, and then I needed 2 cups of the other one. And this was my 3/4 cup thing. The other one still had peanut butter and BS in it, so I just did 4 half cups. You can see there's marks on the inside there. And then stir all that in. Okay? Get that nice and stirred. It looks great. It's going to start smelling good, even though it's still cold, which is weird. So what you want to do is add your onions. Just the onions. You want to add all the rest of it later. So, yeah, you add the onions. I don't know why I shot so much of me picking through those and putting them in there, and then you want to add your thyme. Now get a couple of stems, and the trick is to go in and just pull the leaves off. Usually if you pull them against the grain, they'll come off easier. What you're just trying to do is get them off the stems. Remember, seeds and stems are bad. Pull those off, put all the leaves in there, and I guess thyme is what makes a soup. I don't know. So you want to get 2 tablespoons of your ginger, put it in here. Now remember, we don't have the heat on yet. You don't want to scorch that peanut butter stuff in there. It gets really weird. 1 bay leaf, go ahead and tuck that in. And then your chili powder, you want 1/8 of a teaspoon here, which is considered a dash on these little bitty things here. Again, shout out to our friend Kim who got us these. It's like dash and pinch and smidge and stuff that actually have sizes. I will go through those on TikTok if you want me to, just to show those. But again, thank you to her for sending that to us. That really helps. So get this nice and stirred around, make sure everything's good. Now you're going to put your heat on medium, low. You want to put it about half between high and low. You want it to be warm, but you don't want it to be boiling over, okay? And we're going to let it sit in there for 30 minutes. We're going to cook just the onions and this stuff here with all our seasoning in it for 30 minutes, okay? If it starts boiling over, turn your heat down. Remember, like, you're trying not to scorch it, so low is better. Just set it for 30. Boop. I'm showing you the proof with my busted phone. And then after 30 minutes, this is what I came back to. This, you want to start every now and then, so I did about every 10 minutes. So I started 3 times before I turned the camera back on. Now, after 30 minutes, just add your sweet potato. All right. Again, slow. Don't want to splash this. This is very hot. It's been heating up for 30 minutes because you can scald yourself. Now, once the sweet potato's in there, give it a decent stir. Again, you don't have to use a whisk. Mine was just close at hand and already dirty, so I used it. Cut down on the dishes. So cut that for another 10 minutes with just the sweet potato in it. All right. And then after 10 minutes, come back and put in your okra, and we're going to cook it for another 5. Okay. The okra goes in last. Okra can get slimy and weird really fast if you cook it too high. So go ahead and just add that in there. Give it 5 minutes. Now cook it until both your sweet potato and your okra are tender. Now the best way to do that is pull it up, and if a fork goes into it really easily, that's tender and you're good to go. If you want a little mushier, I guess you can keep cooking it, but it's up to you. Now here you go, salt and pepper. Make sure to get a little bit just on the tip of the spoon, just for Jack. He loves that when you do that stuff right there. Give it a nice stir, turn your heat off, and this is ready to go. Now the recipe asks for to decorate it with edible flowers, and I was like, whose budget's got edible flowers in it? But this is amazing. You can use this for food prep. It's a soup, so it's really great. I want to revisit this and add some stuff to it. I don't know about the okra myself when I ate it. I'm not a big fan of sweet potato, other than I'm hanging out with my former monkeys. God just rest them. But yeah, so I want to try this. It very much came out tasting like a Thai satay kind of peanut stuff. So I want to revisit the soup stuff with some different stuff in it. So I actually very much like this. It's well under our budget. Like I think the heaviest thing was like the broth. Like, because all the vegetables were relatively cheap. The seasonings I had, and they're pennies on the dollar. So this worked out really well. If you do it differently, let me know. Like I said, I found this in a recipe book of soups, and it's soup weather, so I wanted to do it. So it turned out really well. Let me know if you try it, man. I very much am interested in other people trying the African sweet potato peanut soup. It sounds so weird, but it tastes amazing. It was really good. I was souped out by the end of the day. I cooked like 3 of these in one day, but I did this one, and it was really good, and I still had to sit down and eat a bowl of it. So yeah, try this. And there you have it, folks. What was labeled as an African peanut soup. This is really good. You better like sweet potato. I'm not a giant fan of it, but the soup turned out really well. I'd love to revisit it later, add some like chicken, maybe a lamb, like some kind of meats to it. But this is amazing, especially if you're not into like meats or whatever. This is great. It's soup weather. Try it out. Trust me. If you do this or you do it differently, you want to see us do it differently, let me know. Put it down in the comments. That's what they're there for. You can also find us on social media. Let us know how wrong we are over there. We're on Facebook, Pinterest, Patreon. We're on all those that live between Paycheck's Kitchen. You can also find us on Instagram. We're living between. We had to shorten it over there. You can find me, Osweinerdy, across all of those. I'm on Twitter for now. And TikTok, where we're doing some smaller stuff over there. I want to try this white chocolate soup that I found in that book. So follow me over there. Find some nerdy stuff. Do whatever. Y'all try the soup. Y'all be safe, and I'll see y'all next time.